I'm Taylor Rocha reporting for FanRag Sports alongside Jared Allen and his daughter Lakeland. Yeah. Let's start off with football. You had an incredible career. Looking back now, what was the highlight?
I think the whole journey was a highlight. I got to meet some incredible people, live out a lifelong dream to play in the NFL. So you have your ups and downs throughout anything, through team success, personal success. So it's hard to pinpoint one thing. Obviously, the culmination of playing in the Super Bowl, what you could consider a highlight, but then we lost it, so that sucked. So, but I just look at my whole career, and I think the biggest thing was just being able to play the game that I loved for so long. Oh, there we go. And being able to do it my way, being able to play it, which I figured the right way, for the respect of my peers, respect of the fans, and those who played it for me.
So, how does your football background benefit you now in the bull riding community?
I don't think it does. I think it just makes me more newsworthy. I don't know why. No, they're completely different. So I do try to, look at it from like a team angle, though. And just being in football, it's in professional sports. Like take the three major, right? Basketball, or even throw hockey is fourth major. But you take those four major sports, and they are the professions, right? And I think that's what we try to get across to like Tanner, who rides for our team, is that you are a professional athlete and you need to treat it as such. This isn't a just show up and go do it, and you're just some cowboy who goes and jumps on farm animals. Like this is your profession. It's how you're gonna make a career. You have a limited time to do it, so you need to think that way. You need to treat your body that way. You need to prepare that way, and so that's kind of the approach we take. Other than that, it's totally different, and understanding that these bulls are athletes and treating them as such with diets, exercise regimens, and breeding them and training stuff that we can do to enhance everything that they're bred for. So other than that, yeah, it's a completely different realm. But so I think if anything transfers, it's just the fact that I've been a professional athlete, and so I understand that world, and I can give a little bit of that to these riders, and even focus our team aspect that way.
So how did you start in PBR raising bulls?
So Matt Sharpen came to me back when I was in Minnesota and gave me a bull for our bull team foundation, gave me a bull for our foundation. And I grew up in the horse world, so I didn't know that you could make, there was yearling events and all these events for bulls and stuff like that. So that's how it started. He started raising money through his bull ridings and bulls for the foundation. Got involved with the PBR because we wanted a bigger platform to do some stuff. That's one of our big demographics is obviously, or the PBR demographics, a big demographic for us too, being a military foundation. And so talked with them, they jumped on board with it, and it just took off from there. And then I got competitive and started understanding bull riding and more about the business side of it and what goes into these bulls. And so started having fun raising some bulls and all that good stuff.
So tell me a little bit about your foundation. It's with Wounded Warrior, correct?
Correct. No, we're not with Wounded Warrior. We're our own separate 501c3. What we do is we're Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors. We build and remodel homes and make them handicap accessible for our wounded vets coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan. So we have 7 projects going on in 7 different states right now. We've built 8 of them. So that's, okay? And we really build our homes specifically for the injuries for that individual. And now we deal with amputees, paralytics, blindness, TBI that's debilitating, that kind of stuff. So been doing that now since 2009, and it's really all we focus on.
So what is it about raising bulls that made you want to take it seriously enough to make it a business now?
It costs too much to own without trying to make a little bit back. So, yeah, we saw some opportunities, and we have a different approach. We do a NASCAR style approach, and it's a lot of sponsor-based stuff. But I think we get a lot of notoriety, so we're opening up, guys' understanding that there's more out there. We're trying to bring outside different companies and show them that there's a very loyal fan demographic in the PBR in the Western world that really will that it's viable to companies. We got Post on board with us and stuff like that. So some years are great, some years some years you pay out of pocket, but it's been fun. And again, I think it's just one of those things is seeing an opportunity and trying to do something slightly different. There's a challenge in it, and so we hopped on board and did it. Okay, we're talking.
Oh no. So let's talk a little bit about Airtime. He has a huge reputation in this business. How did you start raising Airtime?
I bought Airtime from Scott down in Texas. Actually, so Matt another contractor raised him. Matt told me about him, and you know, we decided to make a play on him, and we ended up getting him, and he's been phenomenal. He got ridden, his first out for me was here in Phoenix. He was bull of the event, got ridden for 92 points, and
Wow.
he hasn't been ridden since. So, and you know, obviously we would have liked him to win a couple world titles by now, but it hasn't happened. And but he's just rank, and he's just an exciting bull to watch because he's almost to the point to where it's chaos, it's controlled, combined. Just, I mean, caged chaos that when he comes out of that chute, you don't really know what's going to happen. Honestly, every time we don't know, I'm like, this might be his last
You're
out.
just like gritting
He
your
bucks
teeth.
so hard, and he's so excited about bucking that he, again, I mean, the way he moves and his athleticism, he stands on his head sometimes. You're hoping nothing breaks, you know. And then there's times where he gets a little nutty in the chute, and it's not his best day. But yeah, so with him, I think that's what the allure is. He is so intense that, and intensity doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be the best out ever. And I think, you know, lately the buildup is trying to get him and JB to go at it head to head. You know, I know at the finals that you could just feel the energy in the stadium when him and JB were going to go, and it didn't go as everybody wanted. And then airtime dusted him real quick the other few, you know, last week. But I think she's doing this on purpose. But and I think that's the allure with him, is that he is unpredictable. You know, Bushwhacker was so good because he was so consistent. You know, I think Airtime's allure is that when he is on, I don't think there's any better. I mean, he could be the rankest bull out there. But then there's times where you just don't know if he's gonna, you just pray he gets out of the chute. So we've been working with a lot on that, but he is such a cool bull, he's such a cool personality, and he's a competitor. I think that's what I like the most about him, his competitive spirit. And that comes off a little unstable at times, which is good. You know, it's good to be unpredictable.
So I'm a bit clueless, as I'm sure some of our viewers are, on the process of raising a bull. Can you kind of walk me through that?
So yeah, I mean, so Matt raises, you good? Okay. So Matt raises all of our bulls out in Minnesota, in Arlington, Minnesota. And he's been doing that for a while, obviously with Phenom Genetics. But, you know, I mean, again, depending on the bull, now if we raise him as a calf, then obviously there's that whole process of, you know, feeding and maintaining. But really what comes down to is understanding the conformation of the animal and what the animal needs. So Airtime's diet is going to be different than Magic Train's diet. Magic Train can put weight on, like eats a blade of grass, he gains 100 pounds, you know? So for him, it's managing his weight and then exercise. And Matt, I'd like to say it's more scientific, but Matt usually just chases him around in a round pen and gets him going pretty good. But, okay, hold on. But, you know, so yeah, for each animal it's different, and Matt's so good about the vitamins they get. He's always tracking, you know, Matt is like the mad scientist, right? He just cares so much about these animals. These are pets to him that he wants them to have the best thing. He's constantly doing, you know, workups on their dietary systems or their digestive system. How can they process food better? What kind of proteins do their body react better to? And really understanding what kind of feed and working with different vets and stuff like that and different feed companies to create the right blend of food for us. So Matt takes the diet and the science to a new level because and you see it in the bulls. I mean, bucking is intense. 8 seconds is short, but that's intense for them, right? Mm-hmm. So you see, you know, at 4 or 5 seconds that start to fade. And what we're trying to do is that we want them to get stronger as the ride goes on. And so that's really, I mean, what goes into it. Again, like I said, it's feed regimens, it's understanding the bull, it's understanding the bull's personality. You know, I mean, it's just little things from certain bulls like to be housed, can be housed together, certain bulls can't. Understanding Airtime, how he performs best. You know, he's usually best, you know, if we buck him every couple few weeks. Then Magic Train, on the other hand, that bull can buck every week and love it. The more you buck him, the better. You got bulls that, you know, really are feisty. You know, Magic Train, you can scratch his belly. Matt can get him to lay down, you can sit on him. So I think the biggest thing and what Matt does such a great job is understanding not only the bull's makeup, his biological makeup, right? But then understanding the bull's personality and what they need to get where they need to get to. You know, do they need to be buck more? Do they need to buck less? And then there's the cool part of understanding the competitive nature, like you said with Airtime. But there's time, you know, you've seen it with Magic Train. He's been ridden a couple times, but if he gets ridden, like you better believe the next out's going to be absolutely crazy because he doesn't want to be ridden. You know, and a bull that kind of lays down, those are the ones that it's okay with getting ridden. You want to get rid of those. So
because of your football background, you're able to help riders in terms of athleticism. What is the best advice that you give to riders?
You know, for Tanner, I don't ever try to pretend that, I'm going to give anybody advice on how to ride bulls. I'm not a bull rider, What I tell Tanner is I understand what it takes to go from week to week of having to get your body prepared for that week. So, I talk to him about, for me, if, they don't need masks like football players need.
I have boogers.
Oh, goodness, child. You don't, though. You don't. That's like her new thing is she has boogers. So for Tanner, it's hey, Coco just joined the crew. We might as well be out of the ranch, but we're not. So I think for Tanner, the biggest thing is I tell him that you need to, obviously diet, controlling your weight, but core strength for them is so important. And the rehabilitation, flushing. So, when I first signed him up, I gave him band workouts to do and stuff like that. Just stuff that's going to actively get your core. I know Tanner does a lot of yoga, hot yoga, that kind of stuff. So that's one reason we love Tanner so much. Tanner takes this legit, serious. He's growing, so I think he's down for a while now, but that's the biggest message is your body is your job, right? So treat the better you feel going into that week, the better odds you have of winning. And then preparation, as far as, some bull riders I was talking to Chase Outlaw about today. Do you watch football? Do you watch videos? Do you not? And he said a lot of bulls are unpredictable. So it's hard to go in thinking one thing because they can work against each other. But I think watching videos of yourself ride, we try to get Tanner to watch videos of himself to correct bad habits. But for me, the more knowledge I can gain on my opponent, the better.
Yeah.
And so we try to really help them focus on that kind of stuff too. And so that's really the only advice I can give is more preparation techniques. I'm not going to tell him how to ride jump for jump, but that's his job.
So have you ever gotten on a bull before?
Oh, when I was younger. Yeah, when I was little, I used to mess around the ranch. We had nothing we used to mess around on steers and stuff like that. My dad trained reining cutting horses, so that's what we grew up doing, roping and stuff like that.
So other than growing your business in the PBR world, what do you do now that you're retired?
You're looking at it. I hang out. My foundation is our #1 deal, and then restaurant. I don't go to a restaurant in town, and then when my stepdad flipped some houses out in California. But other than that, just foundation, and then hang out with the family and the kiddos, and try to stay out of my wife's hair too much.
Well, thank you so much, Jared. I'm Taylor Rocha, alongside Jared Allen for FanRag Sports.